Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Korean. And today was Nintendo's Nintendo Direct about the Switch 2. Now, since I work all day and it went on when I was at work, didn't really have time, and Wednesday's a long day for me, so I didn't even get home till about an hour and a half ago. Watched it all through, fast speed, but my son was kind of giving me updates. He was texting me updates this morning. He's like, "Oh, check this out," and which is fine because he's homeschooled, so it's okay. And it, there's a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. Like anything, there's things that we were expecting and didn't get, and there's things that we got that we weren't expecting. And I mean, that's just how it is. But I want to focus on some of the lowlights that hit me at first glance. And if you want me to do a full breakdown, I will gladly do a full breakdown of the Nintendo Direct 2 Switch 2 announcement on Friday. I won't be doing it tomorrow. Tomorrow is my birthday, and I'm not doing anything except gaming. So, that aside, let's address some of the bad things that were displayed. And the first is, we'll point out with this Polygon article, is some of the games we're going to get little cartridges, but the games aren't actually on there. They're basically token cartridges, meaning they have a digital imprint token that allows you to access and download the game to your Switch. The game doesn't reside on the Switch. This is like kind of physical. And it's a progression that just says basic. They're trying to appease the people like me that are going hard into physical media. Like, absolutely. Don't get me wrong, I buy a lot of Steam games, but if I can get a physical copy for my Switch, I'm getting it hands down. I don't care if it costs more. Now, this is just one of those, it's kind of like, oh, we'll get it, but we won't actually get it. And thankfully, they are going to make it more noticeable. And here's what I mean by that. Like right here, on the bottom of the new carts, it's going to have this, it's a game key card, which means the game isn't on there. Here's the plus side. Thankfully, the Switch 2 is going to have 256 gigs. Thank you. Because, I mean, seriously, the Switch is like, you can't hold that many games on the actual system itself. And this will allow more, and I get it. So it's one of those, yes, you made up for it by giving us huge amounts of storage, but we still want the physical media. And it doesn't mean that all the games are going to be like that, but some of them are. And this is a bad thing. This is definitely a bad thing. This is like, hey, you're going to pay 10 extra bucks so you have the key card. And here's the thing it hasn't been flushed out yet. And I don't think we'll know exactly until we get to actually putting them in our hand. Does this mean that once this key has been associated with someone's account, that it can't be sold or transferred or given to someone else? Don't know. If that's the case, this is just paying extra for nothing. Now, if it can be, like if I can say, hey, I'm done with this game, I don't want it, and toss it to my nephews and say, hey, you want this? Great. And they can take it, download it. And then if that's the case, then okay. It's a little bit better than digital, but by like a hair. And so what are the other, and that's first thing. Second thing that is a thing that's just irks me is the new micro SD express cards. Don't get me wrong. It's a good standard. It's a good card, but Nintendo decided it's not going to read standard micro SD cards. It's only going to read the express cards. Now, why is this good? Why is this a bad thing? Here's why. Because a lot of us on the Switch, we've got micro SD cards. We've got lots of micro SD cards. If you're crazy OCD like me, you have an small individual 8 to 32 gigabit micro SD card for each game. And why would some crazy person like me do that? I'll tell you. Because in the beginning, when I first got it, I had so much trouble with my son uh, downloading games and the card getting corrupted or misformatted or something during some sort of update or whatever. So everything on that was lost and had to be re-downloaded again, basically making the Switch unplayable for hours, which I found infuriating. So after after buying the large Nintendo branded ones, some Samsung branded ones, I decided, you know what, forget this. I'm spending way too much money on these. I'm gonna buy the cheap eight 8 to 32 gigabits. I'm kind of sitting around the 32 gigabits. You can buy like 5 of them for like $10 on Amazon. So they end up being like $2 a piece. And it's not a big deal. So I buy them all the time. I literally had some delivered yesterday for new games for my Switch because I plan on getting a few more games for the Nintendo Switch. Um, like Star Overdrive comes out in a week from tomorrow. Yes. So I definitely want a card for that. But because of this, I can't take my micro SD card from my Switch, even though my game can be played on it. My save data and the updates and the DLCs I've already downloaded for that game can't go with me to the Switch too. I've got to transfer, make sure my data from my Switch is backed up to my Microsoft membership account, and then that re-downloads to the card on the new micro SD card. And that means I'm going to be buying. I'm gonna have to buy large micro because express cards don't come in small amounts. They're not popular enough. They're pricier, so it's not like you can get like an 8 one. You can't get a 5 pack of 32 gigabyte micro SD express cards cheaply. I mean, it's hard to find anything under 256, and I'm like, ugh. So that's another low light that I'm just like. Mm. Another one is this: the upgrades, the update packs. Like, I get it. I understand it. Like, if I was sitting on Nintendo side being like, how do we get people back into playing RIPs like Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild? Okay, how do we do that? Um, well, let's sell them this upgrade package that upgrades the graphics, and it's got this new feature on tiers where you can share your Zonai devices with QR codes to other people. Granted, it's literally going to be people like snapshotting thing, setting up QR codes for uh, star fragments and other things like that. It's going to be funny. It's going to be wild, and I don't think they thought this through. But to me, that's a cool idea, kind of. But really, I don't care. Um, I don't. I think it's a needless upgrade for most people. People that are really obsessed with Zelda. I mean, I'm wearing my Zelda shirt. I mean, I love Zelda. I mean, it's been a part of my Zelda. The Zelda franchise has been a part of my life since I bought my NES and I had that gold cartridge. I still have the gold cartridge, my original one from 1990 something or 80 something. I don't know. I love that game. I still love it. I play it. Love Zelda games. And honestly, this is like feels like a cash grab. Will it be beneficial? Maybe. And I think another thing that they pointed, I don't think it was actually in the Nintendo Direct, but I did see an article later that they are going to be releasing 4 new amiibos of the heroes on Here's the Key, Breath of the Wild, Here's the Kingdom. Uh, so we get like Raiju. That's my girl. Yeah, y'all can simp for all those other ones. Raiju's my girl. I was like, that girl is awesome. And it's like, okay, we get new amiibos that may give us new things, and okay, that may bring some interest. But honestly, I've already got between the two games 600 plus hours into those two games. So I'm kind of like, if I'm going to do it, I'm not sure I want to start over or do all this with HD graphics. Maybe I do. And here's another low light. It's going to have they said Hogwarts Legacy is going to have a new updated version for the Nintendo Switch too. Now, I will tell my side of the story, and that is I bought it. I bought Hogwarts Legacy for the Switch, two copies, one for me, one for my daughter, so she can have it down there. And the loading screens were ridiculously stupidly long. I mean, seriously, like good 20 seconds. You go into a shop, 20-second loading screen. And then boom, you come out. And then you come out, 20-second loading screen. And the loading screens were just infuriating. I never got far in it. Literally, when I saw it pop up for like $17 on Steam, I just bought it. I'm like, I'm finally going to play through all four houses on my PC because it was just infuriating playing it on the Switch. And this is someone who loves Harry Potter, loves Nintendo. That was a terrible port. I hate it to the point where I haven't touched it. I spent 3 hours playing it. And after that, I was like, that's it. I'm done. I can't do this. I cannot do this. As much as I wanted to play it, I was like, I can't do it. I can't. So I said, okay, fine. And I went along and just said, okay. But that's another low light. And some people are arguing, there's some added things with the mouse feature that you can do. And there's lots of good things. But what some people I've seen complaining automatically, like just a brief thing, I just searched Nintendo Direct on Twitter just to see what people were saying. And oh my gosh, people are really upset about the price. Now, I'm going to take this back a little bit. I remember saving up. This is a true story. I My parents, I mean, we weren't well off, but if I wanted a new Nintendo game, I had to save up for it. I remember saving up $75, $80 for Super Nintendo games. I remember me and a friend of mine who lived across the street, we pulled our money together and saved up $90 to buy Killer Instinct. It's the only SNES game I bought with somebody. I didn't have an SNES, but he did. So we split it. We both wanted it. We saved $45 each. We got it. And I mean, yeah, $90 is not a huge deal. I get it. We've been paying like 60, $70, and now it's going up another 20. And with that price increase, if the physical media $90 is this stupid key card, I'm out. I'm not buying it. I will not buy it. I won't. Um, I'll buy it if it's got the game on it, 100%. But I'm still kind of just seething about it and the micro SD cards. And I'm just like, okay. So don't get me wrong. I'm super excited. Will I buy it day one on launch day? Probably not, but I will soon. Absolutely. Yes. I get it that it's 449, 450 for just the base unit. It's 500 with Mario Kart World, which means you're getting the game for $50. It's a digital copy. And I mean, that's how I bought my first Switch, was with Mario Kart 8 with the digital copy. And I keep checking stores for used versions. I was like, I just want a physical copy of it just to have one. And I keep waiting to try to find a used one somewhere. No one gets rid of it. That's the thing. Like, you go to like the used media stuff, like Entertain Mart, Half Price Books, and all these places that sell like game stores and stuff like that that'll sell used games. It's like the Nintendo Switch section is this, and literally the PlayStation and Xbox wall have walls of used games. Nintendo players don't really get rid of their games that often. I mean, usually the ones that's like, oh look, I already bought that. Yeah, got it, got it. I know exactly why they sold that game, and I don't want it. I mean, that's the kind of thing when you look for used Nintendo Switch games at places. It's like it's rare, but occasionally I do find something that I want that's used. Not very often, but these are the big lowlights to me. And it's not that these are deal breakers. So, yes, I get the price points high. And what this does, it's not like Nintendo isn't a console anymore. Like, there's not really Nintendo's not in the console. Xbox and PlayStation are still battling out. Nintendo really is in a war with itself. It's got to outperform what it did and bring more people in. And I do think the new higher price point is going to put some people out of upgrading. I suspect we'll see a sale of Switches come August because the sales numbers are not going to be quite there, and we'll definitely see a huge drop around Christmas. But by then, you probably won't be able to get one. I think these are some of the things that I'm concerned about. But don't get me wrong. I mean, me and my son were freaking out very into the Nintendo Direct. Like I texted my son, I was like, Kirby Air Riders, we are go. Oh my gosh, I've got that on my GameCube. I've got, and they're doing the GameCube little thing like they did with the NES, Super NES, the Game Boy Advance, and all that, those games. So you can actually download like Wind Waker, cool, and play Wind Waker. But I'm kind of like, I want the physical release because if you don't keep your membership, you can't get that. And on the plus side, you can now get an officially licensed Nintendo GameCube controller for your Switch, which I'm all about. I'm definitely getting me one for sure. But there's a lot of good, like everything else I kind of liked, except for the fact that there in this direct, there wasn't a whole lot of Nintendo specific properties. There was the Donkey Kong game, which looks cool. Don't get me wrong. Some people don't like the look of the new face of Donkey, but I like it. It looks like a fun game. But yeah, the price point is going to be a hard sell for a lot of people. And honestly, I think this is a mixed bag. I think if people are upset about the price of the games and the system, totally get it. Totally agree. You're preaching to the choir here. I don't, I rarely buy games at full price unless they're for my kids or it's something I just have to have immediately. Like, yes, like just like literally, if you couldn't buy the package of the Switch and Mario Kart World, I would get it. Because Mario Kart World's gonna have 24 play. Just Mario Kart World just looks incredible, and the whole chat feature and the camera. People are like, oh, that's stupid. I was like, me and my son are hyped. I told him if his mom buys him the Switch 2 down there, I will buy him the camera so we can stream play Mario Kart from our houses. I was like 100%. If your mom buys it for you, definitely getting you the camera. Don't even sweat it. It's on me. And we will do video live chats. And it can do multiple faces. So like I can play with him and his sister down there and me up here. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fabulous. Can't wait. But these are just some of the things that we just gotta realize that yeah, they missed the mark. And it's not like I expect Nintendo to be 100%. Like, yes, I am a Nintendo fanboy, but I'll call it as I see it. There are some mistakes here. There are some problems here. Will things change? Maybe. The micro SD card thing, it's not going to change because that requires hardware change. But what infuriates me is if you have a micro SD express card reader, it reads micro SD cards. So it reads them. So it's like, okay, what's the deal? Why would you downgrade your hardware in that area? And I think it's to push people to the express cards and to pull people more from the Switch 2. I get why they did it mentally on their side, the strategy behind that, but that's just a poor decision altogether. And secondly, this key card thing, mm-mm, no, big problem, big problem. Uh, Honestly, if Nintendo goes this way and pushes more towards digital only or this key card thing, I have no problem with just keeping the Switch and only purchasing Mario Kart, Mario Jam, Mario Party, and Zelda games. And that's all I'll be purchasing on the Switch. Because at that point, if I'm gonna have to pay digital, I'm gonna go to Steam, GOG, Epic, or somebody and get a copy of it digitally, cheaper. I'm just gonna do it that way. Yes, you will only sell exclusives to me for the Switch on your system. I won't buy like the new Hogwarts game if it comes out, even if it comes designed specifically to run perfectly on the Switch too. If I can only get a digital copy of it, I'm out. I'll buy it on Steam. Just damn. So I think these are missteps, but this key thing can be changed, can be fixed. The micro SD thing can't be. So that's just my 2 cents. And like I said, there was an hour worth of content to break down and a lot of cool things that are out there that are just really just like, yeah, cool, let's do this. And some are just like, mm. But all in all, I found the Nintendo Direct for Switch 2. It made me happy. It gave me features I didn't know I wanted, like the chat and the camera. I want it now. I do. I do 100% for me and my kids. Digital stuff, yeah, you missed the mark there. But I mean, that's just what I wanted to go over the lowlights because I mean, there's a lot of good things, but you got to remember the price point. Yeah, I get it, but I mean, we used to save for 80, $90 for Nintendo games, but that back then you bought that game and they were hard. Like you didn't like there wasn't online guide, so it took you months to beat these games, if at all. Still, to this day have not beat Nintendo Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And surprisingly, you want to go get a cute little game that you can't possibly beat? Go get Mickey Mouse Capade for the NES. Seriously, if you get past level 2, you are a top tier gamer. Like seriously, it's one of the hardest games I've ever played in my entire life. It's infuriating and it's a Disney thing. You'd think they'd make it easy. No, it was terrible. I still have that game just because I'm like, one of these days I'm going to get my skill level will finally get to the point where I will beat it. I like to pull it out and be like, all right, whoever gets the furthest beats. They'll spend months just trying to beat the first level because you gotta, it's tough. So yeah, you got your money's worth. But if you buy this and you knock it out in a couple of weeks, yeah, I get why you're upset. So that's just me pointing out the low lights for the Nintendo Direct because there's good things, but we have to admit the problems. And the problems are these. That's what I see now. And I'll come around to it. And we'll just have to decide as things come out what's going to happen, what's going to change, what's not going to change, and decide what we're going to do with our Nintendo Switch. I absolutely am getting one with Mario Kart World, Kirby Air Riders. You're darn right I'm getting those two games. 100% getting them. And if I can get, I'm not getting rid of my Switch one. I'm not. That's staying here. Loving it. It's staying with me. I'm not getting rid of that console. Just not. They literally will have to be like, hey, bricking it for me to get rid of it. So until next time, my friends, as always, love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.